What's going on, everybody? It's GameUnboxingReviews here, and welcome back to another LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2 video. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to create the Scream Symbiote using the in-game Customiser. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so obviously the first thing you're going to do is come to the character customizer, which is in Avengers Mansion. Then you want to come all the way over here and choose a brand new character slot. You can see I've overwritten all the previous creations because of course now what we're going to do is create a whole new wave of custom characters. And to start off with, like I've already said, we're going to be making the symbiote known as Scream. Now, Scream was one of the most requested symbiotes that I've seen people want me to make in LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2. And the thing is, if you go back and look at some of my earlier videos in the How to Make series, pretty much since LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2 came out, I have been teasing that I've been working on Scream. But what I do with these videos, before I showcase them in a video, I make them myself, and then I play as them in the game, and I see if they look like the character enough to, you know, want to be showcased in the video, and also play like the character, because that is, of course, very, very important. And every time I made Scream before, you know, making this video, I just wasn't happy. I just didn't feel like it looked enough like the character or play enough like the character. So I tried time and time again, and eventually today I came up with a pretty cool design that I'm personally really happy with. I am really happy with how this one turned out, and I hope you guys are too. Anyway, let's get started. Right, so for the head we're gonna go with Venom. And his, you know, symbiote face is already black, but just press that anyway, just because you can do it. And then for the hair, now I just want to make this very clear. I'm fully aware that Scream has, you know, her hair is two colors. It's yellow and red. But here's the thing, you can only choose one or the other. That would be a great thing to see in the future of the character creator in future LEGO games. But for now, you can choose one color or the other. So I was kind of stuck with, should I choose yellow hair or red hair? Well, what I did was I looked at some of the merchandise for Scream. Believe it or not, there isn't much, but hopefully that changes when the Venom movie comes out next year. But anyway, you know, I looked at some of the merchandise for Scream, and some of the less detailed toys have just red hair and not yellow hair. So what we're going to do is just go with that. We're just going to go with red hair, because I personally think it looks really good. So we'll go with that. Now then, for the body, I settled on crystals. I think crystals looks really good, so we'll go with that. And then for the arms, you want, you know, you could just go with simple, you know, red color, but I kind of like the detail, so I'm going to go with Carnage. And then for the hands, you want to do the bright yellow. There's a few yellow colors in this customizer. You can see this one, it kind of, you know, it's very close to an orange, but you want the brightest yellow so it fits the crystal torso. You know, you want all the colors to match, basically. Then for the hips, you want to make them red, and for the legs, you want to also make them, well, not red, but you are going to choose, basically, it's got red in it at least. I believe it's Spider-Woman, I think. Yes, that's it. Yeah, Spider-Woman. So you're going to have Spider-Woman's legs. And that's pretty much it for the overall design. Now, of course, what we're going to do is move on to the weapons. Now, like with all the symbiotes, we're going to give Scream some claws. And the claw color is basically the same as the hands. Just match the hand color, so it's bright yellow. It looks a little off there, but once you're in the game, you know, it's exactly the same color. It's just the lighting in the customizer, that's all. But I think that looks really good. And when you're in gameplay, looks even better. And I hope you guys really like it, because I had a lot of fun making this one. And like I said, I tried it so many times. And after just swinging about for a few minutes with this creation, I was really happy with how it turned out. Now on to the abilities. Now, I've heard, you know, a lot of complaints from some people that I get some of the powers wrong when I make these videos. And I do apologize for that. You know, that is not intentional at all. I always try to recreate these characters as best as possible, both in appearance and in powers, but I only know so much about these characters. I don't know everything, so I have to do a bit of research, and the research I found, I just used and put into the video. So the research I'm using for this character is from the Marvel Wiki page, and according to that page, you know, Scream can climb walls, she's got spider sense, immunity is Spider-Man's spider sense, webbing generation, camouflage capabilities, which is why I gave Lasher, I believe, the invisibility ability, because I thought camouflage basically meant invisibility, but maybe I was wrong there. Anyway, she can also she uses her hair basically to attack with, which unfortunately we can't use, but that would be amazing if we could add Medusa's hair to the game and actually fight like that, but sadly that's not something you can do. And apparently she also has limited mental projection / sound manipulation. Now, I'm not quite sure what that means, but her name is Scream, so I guess we should let her be able to scream. That's what I think would be kind of cool, so I think we'll do that. Right, now on to the passive abilities. So, let's see here. We want wall climbing. We'll leave techno access. We'll have cracked Lego walls. We'll have... What else should we have? We'll have vine cut. We'll have super strength, dig, and tracking. You know, I get a lot of complaints from people saying, why do you always put dig and tracking? Well, the symbiotes have claws and they can sense things, so I feel like they'd be able to track something and then dig it up. I mean, it just makes sense to me. But if it doesn't make sense to you guys, you don't have to add it. It's entirely up to you. You know, these customizer tutorials are mainly just to show you guys how to create the appearance, but if you want to mess around with the powers and choose completely different things, absolutely go for it. You know, the possibilities are endless with this thing. Now then, for tap square, we're just going to have fighting. For hold square, we're going to have the targeted lunge. For tap circle, we're going to have... I think we'll just leave that. So we'll just turn them bolts off. And then for hold circle, we'll have an explosion attack. Because like I said, apparently she has sound manipulation, which it has in brackets as a sonic knife. So I'm guessing that means she can scream. If I've got this wrong, I really do apologize. But I think this will look cool anyway. So let's see here. So we don't want that one. Not that one either. Not that one. I think this one is obviously perfect. Yes. Now, I think I've got the speed on at this second. Let me check. Yeah. I don't want that movement speed on because it makes it harder to show off the animations. But if we go back to hold circle, explosion attack, explosion style, we want explosion style 3, so she does this. You could, if you wanted to, just press circle instead of hold circle, but I don't know, I just like holding circle instead of tapping it, so yeah. Right then, for the explosion damage type, we'll have a sonar explosion, and then we just get to choose the color. Right, what color could it be? Let's see. Should we make it yellow? That's kind of cool, I suppose. I remember when I did one of the previous symbiotes, I gave her like acid breath, but I don't think Scream could shoot acid from what I'm aware of. I think we'll just go with, I don't know, which one should we go with? Red or yellow? It's gotta be one of those. Red or yellow. I think we'll go with yellow. I like that. That looks cool. Is that the right yellow, though? Because there's this one as well. Whoa! Yeah, we'll go with this one, because it's more bright yellow than the other one. Okay, enough pressing that and showcasing that cool little animation. Now let's move on to the X button. So with double tap X, you obviously want to be able to web swing. And, you know, I've said this... Oh, yeah, make sure you choose web style 1, because obviously that is the proper web. And I've said this in all of my symbiote tutorial videos on how to create, you know, the life foundation. I can't really find any images online of Scream, Lasher, you know, all these symbiotes actually web swinging. So you kind of have to just guess. And I'm guessing, you know, since Scream has mostly a yellow symbiote, I'm going to guess her webs are yellow, you know, the same as the suit. And after swinging around in Chronopolis with this version of Scream that I created, and you see the yellow webs as you're swinging around, it's pretty awesome, and it did feel like I was playing as an almost official Scream. So I personally think the yellow fits nicely. If I got that wrong, again, I apologize, but I can only do so much. You know, there's only so much I can find in terms of research for this character. But I really hope I've done it right, because, you know, this character is awesome, and it's just such a cool design and powers and everything. Hyper jump, I guess so. I guess you'd give her the hyper jump. And then now we're going to move on to the passive traits. Right, so for the health icon, let's see here. We're going to have yellow. I mean, is that yellow? It looks kind of different on my screen. Yeah, I mean, that is yellow and that's kind of orange. So I guess we'll go with yellow. Standard, yes. Voice, you just want to choose any female voice. There it is. Movement speed, we'll just have default. Thing is, I know some people have said, why do you always choose default? Well, mainly because if you watch, I think it's the hybrid video I did, you'll see when you swing with that movement speed with either one of these, it's very weird. It's not normal at all, and I don't like it. So I personally prefer to sacrifice the speed for cool web swinging animations. And I mean, if you press R2 and swing anyway, you're fast, so you don't really need the movement speed anyway. Target reticle will just go with the web like usual. Alright, nice. Now we just need to name her. Okay, Scream. Again, in capitals, because the game registers all the names in capitals. There we go, Scream. Awesome. Background image, I'm just going to go with this one. And there you have it, guys. That is my custom-made Scream made in LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2. Like I said, I'm really happy with how this one turned out. I've tried making her many times, and this is probably the best one I've made yet. You know, who knows, maybe I'll end up making a better one in the near future, but for now, I'm very happy with the way this one turned out. Now, of course, what we're going to do is drop Scream into the Chronopolis HUB World and see just what she can do. And here she is. This is, of course, my custom-made Scream made in LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2. Let's just get a good look at her right here. Good look at the design. I'm, like I said, very happy with the way this one turned out. I mean, I've been trying to make Scream for ages, and, you know, sure, you could go ahead and just make a yellow symbiote, and I did do that. I did. I tried it, and I just thought it just looked too simple, you know. I wanted to try and put a lot more detail in, because to be honest, she's not just a yellow symbiote. If you look at many images of the character, there's a lot of little hidden details and things like that. Sure, it's not perfect, but I think I've done a pretty good job, and I hope you guys, you know, agree, because I think she's awesome. I really do. Anyway, let's see what powers she has. What powers did we give her? Well, she can charge attack like this, like all the other symbiotes I've made. Very cool. She can attack with her claws like this, which I always love. I always love seeing the symbiotes attack with claws. That is just so cool. It'd be nice to maybe see them do that as an actual thing that the symbiotes have in future LEGO Marvel games, if we get more in the future. That'd be pretty cool. So like Venom and Carnage. I've always wanted Carnage to be able to turn his hand into weapons and things. I feel like that is such an iconic thing that character can have. It's actually surprising he doesn't, you know, have that ability in the game, but oh well. And again, we can do that. And we also gave Scream a bonus feature, which, you know, I'm not entirely sure if she can do this, but it was on the Marvel Wiki page, so you can't really blame me for adding it. But, I guess she can scream. I mean, her name is Scream, so it kind of works, but if you hold down circle, and boom! There you go. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Alright, so let's go take down these bad guys that are in Wakanda. And I also brought back Lasher for this episode because, I mean, come on. 2 Life Foundation symbiotes helping out each other. It's pretty awesome to see these two together. It looks more convincing from the back, but there you go. Alright, let's get started. Alright, swing up here. And, of course, yellow web. Yellow hands, yellow web. Most of the symbiote is yellow, so I figured yellow web. I mean, in Spider-Man Unlimited, the mobile game, her web is just white. It's just a normal web. But I believe everyone's web in that game is white. I don't think they actually change it depending on the skin you wear, which is kind of a shame. You'd think they would do that. So I would definitely not look into that and be like, okay, so she has a white web. She might, but to me, every web in that game I think is white, so I don't think that really counts as a good source. Right. No, I want to do the Scream move. Scream move! Here we go. Yes! Nice job!
You're a true hero.
I'm a true he. A true hero. She didn't finish her sentence. Alright. Oh yeah, we also gave her the hyper jump as well, which is very cool. Actually, let's destroy all these things, because why not? Yeah! Don't mess with Scream. Alright, let's try that again. Ready? And jump! Oh. That works. Oh, look how happy she is! That's creepy. Put that smile away, Donna. That's very creepy.
New vibranium samples have been detected in
Alright, let's get down here. Whoa! Yeah, it's pretty cool swinging around as a yellow symbiote. I mean, again, you know, you could, if you wanted to, just make her into a yellow symbiote, but I wanted to try and give her a bit more detail than that. But yeah.
If you have a...
He's going to talk about yogurts, isn't he? Oh, we got away just in time, so that's alright. He's not going to talk about yogurts. Not on my watch. people who haven't been watching the rest of my videos are probably very confused by what I just said. But if you have been watching them, you'll get the reference.
Whoever it is, we can't let them get away with it.
That's a new line. I haven't heard that one before. Like a new voice line from Wasp. Alright, let's go take care of these bad guys. Let's see if we can take them all out with one scream. I don't know if that'll work, but it sure would be cool, huh? Alright. Lasher, leave them alone. I want to do it. I'm trying to... No. Wait. 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 Oh, I can't do it. Forget it. That's the thing. I know, you know... I guess to avoid that, you could just make the attack a tap circle, but I prefer hold circle. Plus, I kind of like the little detail that goes into it as well, because when you hold down circle, you see it's actually a yellow bar because we made it yellow. So I think that's kind of neat. So I prefer that to just tapping circle, in my opinion. But I know tapping circle would make it easier to show off the animation. Alright. Ooh, 2099. Speaking of 2099, don't forget, guys, community characters is still going. I've seen some amazing creations already. I mean, I was looking through them at the weekend, just seeing what people have created, and there's some really cool stuff. Like, really, really cool stuff. You guys have got incredible imaginations. The characters' designs itself are really great, you know, they're really, really good. But then when you couple them with the actual backstories which people have created, it just makes them even better. I mean, there's some really great stuff for this next episode of Community Characters, and I just can't wait to reveal everything. But of course, you know, nothing is final until the end of the month, so if you have a creation that you think might have a chance within, you know, being in the top 10, definitely share it with me on Twitter, you know, at GameUnboxing with the hashtag Community Characters, and I'll definitely have a look at it. I look at every single submission that is entered, all of them. All right, now we're in Sakaar. Let me jump down there. There we go. I think 2099. I'm really glad that that was the end result for you know, the results, because of course I asked you guys which one you would prefer, and most people, actually a lot of people, asked for 2099, and I'm really glad that was the one that was chosen, because I think something like 2099 really allows you to go nuts and just make whatever you want, and it can kind of fit, you know, it really can. I mean, when I think of 2099, I think of like, you know, futuristic stuff, but the ideas that other people have come up with, it goes beyond that, and there's some really, really cool stuff. I definitely can't wait to debut the next episode. I was really, really happy with the way the first episode was received, and I'm definitely going to continue with it, because Community Characters, it's just so great to see everyone, you know, likes it as much as I do. Haha! Take that! Alright.
Mustache, late for a meeting.
Maybe if we go down here, we'll see those knights that are always like trashing that Nova building, and then maybe we'll be able to do that Scream ability on more than one enemy. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, and you know, I forgot to say, obviously in these videos where I've been playing as the Life Foundation symbiotes that I've recreated in the game, we have been talking about what the Venom movie might be like, and at the weekend, you know, Tom Hardy made a surprise appearance at Comic-Con and said how, you know, well, he didn't make an appearance, but he was on like a live stream or something, and he basically said how the character is very important to him. He wants to get it right, you know, he doesn't want to mess it up for the fans, and he thinks, you know, that this movie, he's really happy with the way it's turning out, and he says how it's very important to the Marvel Universe. That's an interesting quote. But I think the most interesting thing is we got a confirmation that it is based on Lethal Protector, but also another one, another comic as well that I can't remember the name of. Symbiote Island, maybe? Something like that. It's like, there's like two comics that it's kind of inspired by the Venom movie. That is, it's basically inspired by 2 comics, but the main one is Lethal Protector. And, I mean, that's awesome. They said how Venom does move to San Francisco and everything, and it's going to be great, man. It's going to be really, really great. I can't wait for the Venom movie. And, of course, you know, we got the trailer, the very first trailer for the Miles Morales animated movie, the Spider-Man Enter the Spider-Verse movie, which just looks absolutely astonishing. Honestly, that trailer blew me away. I just couldn't believe how good that looked. I mean, the art style is maybe the best art I've ever seen in any animation, and honestly, that movie alone looks like the most promising Spider-Man animated Spider-Man project I've seen since Spectacular Spider-Man. I mean, Sony, you know, their track record lately, a lot of people will say hasn't been great, but when you look at something like the Spider-Man animated movie that looks absolutely incredible, and then you hear what's going on with Venom, I think they might have, you know, a good idea of what they're doing right now. I think they seem quite passionate about these projects, and I think that passion will hopefully make them better. I'm really excited for both Venom and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And of course, you know, I was so excited about Into the Spider-Verse, I was like, I have to do something about this. You know, what could I do in celebration of this amazing new trailer? So I tried making Miles' suit in this game, the new suit that he wears in the film, and it just looked like Miles, you know. It didn't, like, it looked like the classic comic book version. I was thinking, that's quite lazy. I don't want to do that. I want to actually make that suit. So I went back to Lego Marvel's Avengers, and I made a mod. And from the sound of it, a lot of you guys really liked it. So I'm really glad to hear that, because I was very happy with the way that mod turned out. And I just love it when, you know, Spider-Man's costume is the greatest costume of all time. And Miles' suit is incredible as well. You know, every Spider-Man suit, to be honest, is great. I can't really think of bad Spider-Man suits. Spider-Man just has so many amazing suits in comic books. But I love it when creators take Spider-Man's suit and try to change it and make it their own. You know, not too much, but just like ever so slightly. Like Insomniac Games is making the Spider-Man PS4 game, and their suit is breathtaking. It is absolutely amazing. I never thought of a suit with like the white spider, but it's still red and blue and everything. It's a gorgeous suit, and I can't wait to swing around in that game with that suit for hours on end. And then, like I said, you've got Miles Morales. I mean, that suit is really cool, because I'm personally a huge fan of when Spider-Man has very, what you would call makeshift, kind of realistic, practical suits, like the Human Spider, the Vigilante suit from The Amazing Spider-Man, and of course, the homemade suit from Spider-Man Homecoming. So to see that Miles is kind of graffitied on his symbol, his spider symbol, is really, really neat. And I love whoever decided, let's not make Miles's webbing on the suit red, let's make it like silver, like the old movies, is a genius, because I never even thought of that. And when I was making it with the mod, I was like, wow, that looks cool. Like, red eyes, you know, but silver webbing, amazing, amazing combination. Love, love, love Miles' new suit. And I'm also, you know, it sounds weird, but I'm a huge fan of when Spider-Man wears clothes over his costume. I just think he looks awesome. And you saw, you know, Miles in the trailer, and he was wearing a hoodie and everything, and he was standing by the train. He just looked so cool. It's like that scene in Homecoming where Peter's wearing that hoodie and things. I mean, I love it when they do that. It's amazing. Truly amazing. It's like a small little detail, but it's just cool seeing Spider-Man wearing clothes over the top of his suit. I remember in the PS1 game, we had the quick change Spider-Man suit that was like unlockable, and I used to use that loads. Like, because even back then, I loved the whole quick change Spidey kind of look. It's so cool. So very cool. There's a lot of talk, you know, from that trailer that we saw. Is it Peter Parker at the end? I mean, sure, that's the obvious choice. But what if it isn't? What if it's someone else? I mean, Enter the Spider-Verse pretty much guarantees we're going to see a lot of different versions of Spider-Man in this movie. And I feel like, you know, Peter's probably going to pop up in it in some shape or form. But I think there's going to be... The main focus will be on Miles and probably other, you know, Spider-Men and Spider-Women as well. Mostly Miles, though. This should really be Miles' movie, because Miles Morales is an incredible character. You know, over the years, he's gained so much popularity, and he absolutely deserves this. I mean, he's such an awesome character, and I'm so glad he's finally getting a movie. He's awesome. It's Miles Morales. He's a great character, and I just can't wait to see the film. But I do, you know, I do kind of think it's Peter at the end. The appearance, you know, the way, the hair and the face and everything, that did kind of make me think of Peter. Kind of reminded me of Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker. But then the clothes he's wearing, it's like half Spider-Man suit, half civilian clothes. It's, I think he's like wearing pants or something, I'm not quite sure, but that kind of threw me off and made me think, wait a minute, maybe that isn't Peter. Maybe that's Miles talking to another Spider-Man and being like, you know, so how many of us are there? Like, how many Spider-Man? But we'll see. And then, of course, there was that spider in the background, and that's teasing a lot more spiders to come. And if Miles, you know, has had this crazy redesign with his suit, I can only imagine all the other redesigns we're going to get with the other Spider-Man. Hopefully, Miguel, Spider-Gwen, Noir would be really cool to see. I mean, all of these Spider-Men deserve a big screen debut. So hopefully, you know, like I said, this should really be Miles' movie, but hopefully this also gives Sony an excuse to debut Spider-Men and Spider-Women that have yet to be on the big screen, like Miguel O'Hara, Ben Reilly, Spider-Gwen. Just so many different versions. But yeah, I'm very excited about the animated Spider-Man movie, as you can tell. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be absolutely awesome.
You seen that superhero supply store? Lady who runs it always seems to be in some sort of trouble. Yesterday she was purple. She'll learn to tune it out.
I'm very curious to see who they'll get to play the Life Foundation in the Venom movie, because you gotta think, Tom Hardy is an incredible actor, and you've gotta find a bunch of people, a bunch of actors that can kind of go toe-to-toe with him, you know, and work well with him. So I'm sure who they get for the Life Foundation will be a great cast. There's been no word on who are playing Scream, Agony, Phage, Lasher, Raya, all of them yet, but I'm sure we're probably not far away from finding out, you know, just who's playing those awesome symbiotes in the Venom movie. I just can't wait to see them all on the big screen, because that Venom movie logo they released of, you know, the classic Venom face, and then there's like a V behind it. Very, very interesting stuff. That definitely gives me hope in the overall design of the symbiotes. I feel like they're definitely going to look like what you're expecting. Big, you know, big teeth, tongue, everything, big eyes. They're gonna look like the symbiotes you're hoping for, which is great. And the V instead of the classic, you know, Venom symbol is very interesting. I guess that hints that this is a lot more Venom's movie than it is Spider-Man. You know, this movie isn't set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but there could still be a Spider-Man in that universe. We just probably won't see him. It could be Tom, you know, maybe Tom Holland will play Spider-Man in 2 different universes. That'd be kind of confusing for the general public, but it would also be really, really cool to see Tom Holland's Spider-Man face off with Tom Hardy's Venom. But we'll see. But yeah, with the Venom symbol being replaced with a V on the logo, that makes me think that we might be getting something similar to Ultimate Spider-Man. So he won't have a logo on the chest. It'll be more like an Ultimate Spider-Man the game, where, spoiler alert, you know, for that old game, but you got the Venom symbol at the very end of the game. He didn't have it through the rest of it, and I feel like they might do something like that. Actually, that would be what the heck? I held down circle then. Actually, that would be pretty cool. Maybe at the start of the movie, he doesn't have the symbol, and then he gets it, like, later on. Like, something happens and he gets it. That'd be pretty sweet.
I thought I was a goner.
Either way, symbol or not, I think Venom's gonna look incredible in this film.
Oh, crumbs!
Everything we've heard from it, it sounds like they really want to do it justice. Even though it's not set in the MCU, I think it's gonna be a pretty faithful adaptation of Lethal Protector. Hopefully. That's all we can do is hope. All we can do is hope. But everything we've heard and seen, kind of, like we haven't seen much, sounds promising. And as a huge fan of the character of Venom, you know, he's my favorite Spider-Man villain, I can't wait, and I'm just hoping for the best. I just want this to be a good movie and a good, you know, portrayal of the character that I absolutely adore. Anyway, guys, enough of me rabbiting on about the Venom movie. I think we'll swing through this bit of Manhattan one more time, and then we'll call it a day. See if there's any more crime around here somewhere. But yeah, like, overall, I'm really happy with the way Scream turned out. I know I've said that several times now, but, yeah. I think she looks really good. Like I said, I didn't just want to make a yellow symbiote. I wanted to go into a little bit more detail than that, and I think it paid off. Some of you might disagree, and that's totally fine, but no, I'm really happy. with the decision to make, you know, the arms red and the legs red and yellow. I just think it looks really, really cool. And, you know, with this character creator, you have, like, a limited... Well, not too limited. It's a great character creator, and you can make tons of things, you know, more than I could have imagined. But there are limits. And I like to try and make the characters as detailed as possible and not just make them bland colors all the time. I mean, the bland colors, I say they're bland, but it just depends on who you're making. Sometimes just a simple solid color can be like, yeah, that looks great. That fits the character perfectly. Other times, you know, you like to experiment and try to make it look a little bit more detailed. Yeah, I know Scream doesn't have, like, crystals detail on the chest here, but, you know, you can't help that. It's just what you have to live with when it comes to this customizer. But it'd be great if in the near future, you know, we can change color of different parts of the torsos and things like that. That would be absolutely incredible and just make the possibilities even more endless. But I still think, you know, despite so many pieces that are in the character creator, I still think people will be using this thing for many, many years to come. It's a great thing, and I think with a lot of movies, comics, and games that come out, people will always be trying to recreate different costumes and things using this character creator. And of course, you know, we've got all these DLCs coming out, and Arthur Parsons has teased that we might see the pieces from those DLC packs added to the character creator. So this customizer is going to get better, just not in, like, a technical way. It's going to get better as in more pieces, which, hey, you know, is cool, good enough for me, if you ask me. I think that's great. More pieces allows us to make a lot more cool things. Alright, and we're back at Avengers Mansion. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. Stay tuned for lots more videos real soon, and as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.